Alright, welcome in everybody. We are back. We're gonna get started here momentarily. This will be our loser semifinals match. We are officially down to the final four runners, and we will have our top three after today. So, I'm really excited for this one. We'll be getting started here in just a moment. Alright, here we go. Should be starting in just a few seconds. Alright, there we go. Got the prediction up and going. For anyone joining in, you're welcome to predict this match. Once again, this is loser semifinals. So whoever loses this match will be eliminated. The stakes are very high going forward. And we are down to really the last couple matches of the tournament. And that'll be it after that. So, whoever wins this match will move on to play in the losers finals match. And the winner will face whoever loses between Moonrise and Korra. So Moonrise and Korra are going to play in winners finals. The loser will play the winner of this. And the winner of that matchup will go to grand finals along with the winner of Korra versus Moonrise. So, in total, really all I'm trying to say is we have about, including this match today, we have about 4 matches left. Potentially 5, depending on how grand finals goes. So, we are getting to the end of it pretty much, so. Which is really cool to see, because we only really started this tournament, I think, late June. I always have to check and see, like, what date I first posted the bracket. Yeah, June 21st was the day I posted the bracket for the first time, so it's really been, like, I think less than a month and a half. Probably close to a month and a half. I mean, it's... To be this far in the tournament, at this point, just far exceeded all our expectations, so we're very grateful to all the runners who have been awesome throughout this tournament. Huge shout-outs to everybody. So yeah, both these runners have had different paths throughout this tournament. Phantom was the 3 seed coming in. This is technically the second match between both these runners. This is a rematch. So Phantom started out the tournament by beating Joker, then round 3, winners round 3, defeated Furus. So this is a rematch between these two runners. Furus has had a, I think has played, this will be Furus' 7th match total, I think. Which is really impressive, pulling off a lot of really incredible wins all throughout this tournament. And getting a PB in that last run. Alright, both these runners getting into Chapter 1. We still got, I think, a little over 4 minutes left on the prediction, if anyone wants to get their predictions in. I don't think anybody has placed any gold bars on Furus yet, so if you do that, you could potentially be in for a substantial payout if things go your way, so that is an option. Alright, going into Bestovius' house, we're about to get the ability to flip into 3D. Gonna get a bunch of very important items in this room. The Shell Shock, very useful for room 89, potentially. Shroom Shake, really any heals are always nice to have. And then the Fire Bursts for Enter 2. Been seeing a lot of I feel like a lot of the matches throughout this tournament have had, like, quite a good amount of item drops, with the exception of a few runs. I think it's either the item drops are, like, so many items, are showing up, or just nothing. Like, no items whatsoever. It's like no in-between. Got a catch card drop for Phantom, not gonna worry about that. Alright, both runners on the 1-1 grind here. Looks to be pretty good. Phantom, 37.8. Furious, 35.3. Great job by both these runners. That Sproing for Furious was on the brick staircase there. That's always funny. Thankfully, didn't have to worry about it, so... Alright, very nice 1-1 for both these runners. Going into 1-2, obviously the big trick coming up. Also, this is your last call for any predictions. I think it's about to close here. Alright, so we're about to see GBS attempted for both these runners. Just after this cutscene here. If you've never seen Green Bridge skip before, we are going to be skipping a very large portion of this level. You're normally intended to go get Thoreau before you're able to talk to Watch It. Then you do have to talk to Watch It, then talk to Green. You have to basically spend like 2 minutes doing a bunch of different things to spawn in the green bridge to get to the star block. However, both these runners are going to be skipping that completely. Going to be doing a series of very precise movements out of bounds to jump past the Yold Town houses. And then ultimately we'll place ourselves right in front of the gap where the green bridge would be. And there's a thin plane in the background that we can land on by doing a one-frame trick. So Phantom going for the dark room movement, jumping over the doors in Yold Town here. Very nicely done. Obviously we can't see anything. Everything is completely unloaded. Great job by Fierce there as well. Phantom gonna push in front of this sign, line up for the one frame. Fierce going for it as well. Fierce unfortunately missed it. Phantom gets it. Climbing very high into the sky. Gonna wait for the 3D meter, take damage, jump across the final gap, and there you go. Green bridge skipped. Fierce landing on the seam as well. Climbing up. Oh, no, fell off. Oh, my goodness. Just climbed a little too high up, so that seam is really weird. It's got, like, really weird positioning. If you go too far up, you will fall off. You do have to move a bit right as well. You saw Furious do that there. Thankfully, back on the seam once again. Oh, my goodness. This trick just was so close to making it to the other side. Furious gonna keep going for it. Phantom, starting out 1-3. Gonna be doing the grind here. Gets a Fireburst drop, which is huge for room 21. Very nice. Very nice drop to get. Furious still going for the 1 frame. Has gotten it twice, just unfortunate sequence of events after that. Phantom potentially setting up for the 3D jump in this room. Furious at the top again, jumping across, and there it is. Good recovery there from Furious. Love to see that. Oh, almost got the 3D jump there. Unfortunately, killed the squig. We'll have to take the intended route. This is... If I had a nickel for every time I've seen someone do this in the tournament, I'd have 2 nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice. Shoutouts to whoever the other runner was that did that. Oh my gosh. Well, either way, we're on to the Chunks fight. Furious starting out 1-3. Oh, Chunks, this is the only mini-boss in the game that we're going to be fighting. Relatively easy boss. We can get a lot of points off this guy if we stay in midair. We're just going to try to bait him to jump back up into us. Sometimes he likes to do the grab animation, which can be really annoying. Nice. Really good fight there from Phantom. Furious going to be going for this 3D jump once as well. There we go. Nicely done. Just timing the damage from the 3D meter there. Jumping in midair. We can jump on the squig as it falls there. Phantom going for Ice Turbo skip. Setup looks good. Gonna wait for the Ice Turbo to get to the height of its animation there. Very nicely done. By taking damage from that projectile, we can leave the Ice Turbo a little higher up in the air, so that at the height of its floating animation, we can jump off it, get up to the door, and that's that. Blue pedestal skip here in this room. Very thin seam that we can land on by continuing to hold forward. As you see here, we can just flip back to 2D right onto the star block, and that skips having to press 1 and minus on the blue pedestal. So, very nicely done. That was a really good 1-3 there from Phantom. Besides the 3D jump, but it happens. So Phantom moving into 1-4. Furious Ice Turbo skip. That looks to be good. Very nicely done. So a couple rooms from now, Phantom will be going for Key Early, which is the main trick here in 1-4. There's a room that we typically have to go all the way to the end of the room, enter a completely separate room, hit a switch to reveal the key. However, the key is it's actually loaded in. Furious getting BPS, very nice. The key is actually loaded in behind a set of brown blocks, so there's 2 different methods. The OG method, I guess you can call it, is to corner clip out of bounds, land back on the quicksand, move inside of the left wall in 3D, which I believe Phantom's going to be going for, yep. First try, very nicely done. This is the fastest method of this trick, if you get it first try. That's very good, yep. Just doing some 3D maneuvering to jump back up, flip back to 2D, and we can collect that key. Really nicely done there. There is another method to that trick that a lot of runners do find easier, which involves the Z manipulation strat, which is really cool to see. It is technically slightly slower, but if you can get it consistent, if you can get the trick consistently, that's really all that matters. You can save a lot of time with it. Both Furious and Phantom use Thoreau before opening that lock there. That'll save time on the door animation, because Thoreau will not travel to the center of the door with us. Nice corner clip there for Furious. Landing back on the quicksand can be really tricky. Oh, wow, very nice job. It almost looked like, I thought for a second Furious clipped back in bounds, but was still out of bounds. That was really clean movement there. That worked out. So there we go. And the rest of 1-4, really, really self-explanatory. Just entering a room, completing whatever puzzle, or grabbing whatever key that we need, and just moving on. Alright, so Phantom, about to start the Chapter 1 boss fight against Fractal. We'll actually be seeing this, boss fight twice in this run. Once now, and we'll see a clone of it at the end of the pit called the Ractail, which is ultimately pretty much the same fight. We will be doing different strats based on different characters and abilities that we have at the time, but ultimately the fight is still very easy. Ractail, you will take 10 damage though, so a little more dangerous, but Fear's going to be entering the cutscene now. I think there's pretty much about a minute apart between these two runners. I will check their Chapter 1 times once it's all said and done. So to start this this Fractal fight, we do have to wait for a 40-second cutscene to play. And if you fall off Fractal at all, you will have to watch this 40-second cutscene once again. So, and there's 3 different cycles to Fractal, where you hit the antenna 3 times, Fractal will basically do a loop in midair. But thankfully, we do have some a bunch of different strats to not have to worry about watching this cutscene again, which is very nice. Nintendo did also know that you can jump from Fractal's tail back onto his head again. It is technically mentioned in the guidebook for this game, which is pretty neat. So, almost a intended time save in a way, but we're going to be doing something different, something that saves even more time. As you can see, Phantom setting up for right now, the 3D flip strat. Oh, unfortunate. I wonder if that might have worked. I can't tell if Phantom jumped early or just was in the wrong position, but it is a really specific spot you have to stand in. We're just going to be flipping twice on the 3rd triangle there. There we go. Just by getting pushed by that the Frackle, we can get pushed to the right just a little bit. We do have to wait a little bit before we jump, like half a second. But we can jump right up to the antenna, and that skips having to wait for more little frackles to spawn there. Saves a good bit of time each cycle. Does it count as a cutscene if Mario still has control? I guess. I don't know exactly what you would call it then, like an intermission. Fractal flies around while we do nothing. SPM enemy boss design. Plenty of names for it. You're just going to be setting up for the strat as well. That looks to be good. Going to go forward a second time here. Every runner has their different visual cues for this trick. Unfortunately, just too far to the left there, but does get good spawns, thankfully, so it doesn't lose too much time. Both runners go 1 for 2, and that is Chapter 1. Alright, so Phantom got a 25:05 Chapter 1 time. So I will compare that to Fierce's time here. Just a moment. Alright, 26:15 there from Furious, so looks to be about a minute and 10 seconds in between both these runners. So Phantom will probably carry, well, we'll see what happens in Chapter 2-1, but if that still holds, that should be probably the difference of a few rooms to start the pit. But ultimately, the fun thing about pit percent is you never really know. You never really know what happens until you get into the pit. So both runners going through this Peach cutscene here. The Enter 2 split, everybody's favorite. It is one of the longest chapter intermissions in the game. Just a lot of stuff to go through. We love pre-chapter 2. But yeah, I did mention this at the start. I will say it again. We are pretty much coming up to the very end of the tournament here. So this losers semifinals match, the winner of this will move to losers finals. Then the next matchup that we'll have will be against Moonrise and Korra. That'll be winners finals. The winner of that match will move to grand finals. The loser of that match will play, whoever wins today, will play them in losers finals. And then after that, we'll eventually make our way to the grand finals matchup. After this match, we'll be down to the final 3 runners of the tournament. So should be, after today, should be 3 to 4 more matchups, depending on how grand finals plays out. Phantom cooking the Fireburst. Gonna return pipe. That was why we picked up the Fireburst in Bestovius' house, just to cook that into a spicy soup, and we can wake up Peach here for this segment. Alright, so Phantom pretty much wrapped up with all the cutscenes for this segment. The last thing that there is to do is just placing the second Pure Heart in the pillar here in this next room, and that'll open Chapter 2. And if you haven't seen Pip Percent runs before by chance, this is Pip Percent Classic, so we do require runners to get Boomer with this subcategory. So we'll be going into 2-1 just to get Boomer and then leaving, so that'll be it. We'll just be seeing Gloam Valley. It's a nice strat there from Phantom just by using either one of those enemies, the Squig or the Squiglet. You can toss it into that small little ledge there, jump off it. Very nice. Alright, into Chapter 2 we go. Fierce about to place the Pure Heart in the pillar as well. Both runners still about the same distance, about a minute apart. So 2-1 Gloam Valley, we do have a couple cool tricks coming up. There's a couple different neat strats that we'll see. The biggest one being blue switch early. Alright, so in this next room, we're going to see the Z manipulation strat that I talked about earlier. Phantom going to line up for this just by jumping out of that jump prompt there. While we're in 2D, we can actually change our 3D position in midair just by holding down. And by doing that, keeping that position, walking all the way to the right of this room, the end of this room is slanted, so we will just flip to 3D and we'll be out of bounds there. And with some nice out-of-bounds movement, as you saw there from Phantom, able to hit the blue switch early in the background. Very nicely done. It was very, very fast. Phantom also just got the 60k level up. Ooh, a fresh veggie from Fierce. It's a nice heal drop. Both runners probably feel really confident about getting through the pit, but it's always nice to have some backup heals in case of emergency. Fierce gonna go for the strat as well. Very nicely done. We do have to move Mario just a little bit left there in 3D. That works very well. And both runners also fell off. If you fall off the right there after hitting that switch, you'll save a little bit of time. You'll spawn right next to the door there. You can also opt to land on the platform, the background platform itself, and just flip to 3D. You can get to the door that way, but we love more time save. Love to see that. So, very well executed there by both runners. And here we go. Alright. So Phantom, off to the pit. Fierce, about to get Boomer. Very long cutscene here, but will still be about pretty much a minute difference between these two runners. Phantom going for the Boomer throw strat. You do have to pause pretty much immediately, so that's why Phantom's just setting this up a second time. There we go. Got a first try. And here we go. Alright, Phantom enters right as Furious gets back to flip side through the return pipe there. Nice setup here in room 1. Love to see all the enemies pretty close to the door. Furious actually got a gold there for that 2-1 split. It's pretty good. Nice Thoreau strat there from Phantom. If you're holding an enemy with Thoreau, you can actually jump up and potentially hit the enemy that's walking above you. It's a pretty neat strat there. So if you've never seen the pit before, I will break it down here momentarily. Break down all the details. It's a good key there. There is a 4th enemy in that room, but thankfully that guy was way closer to the door. So Furious going for this boomer throw strat. As well, Phantom in room 4. Gonna be doing full jumps off of these springs. If you split them into 3, you'll get more points that way. It's a very nice strat. Ooh, just barely able to enter that door there. Alright, so we're looking about a 4-room difference. So Phantom entering room 5, Fierce starting out room 1. If you've never seen the pit before, basically, there's a lot of luck involved. There's a lot of RNG things going on. The only consistent things is every time you enter a specific room, you'll have the same layout, you'll have the same number of enemies and the same type of enemies. So, every time that Phantom enters this room, room 6, it'll be this exact room layout. And the 3 cherbils here. So, everything else, though, is completely RNG. Where the enemy spawn locations are random. The entry and exit door locations are linked with one another, but ultimately which one you get is random. And then obviously the biggest one, which enemy has the key. Completely random. So you're going to see these runners just wipe out entire floor worth of enemies as quickly as possible until they find the key. I think that's everything. Item drops, that's the only thing I didn't mention. Any item drops that you see are also random. There are certain enemies, like poison enemies, will drop items 100% of the time, unless they do have the key, so that'll be a pretty unique strat that's used. Nice first key there for Phantom in this room. Pretty good key for Fierce there as well. Fierce having a nice start to the pit here. Phantom room 9. Speaking of poison enemies, poison cherbils, there you go. As you can see, dried shroom drop, that's only a 1 HP heal, so Phantom not going to worry about it. And there's the key. Fierce about to level up, about to get to 60k. Phantom almost at 67k, so just a little bit further ahead on points, but not by too much. Room 11 just has 4 different Koopas here. There we go. Fierce on room 9. Fierce caught up quite a good bit there. It's a really nice heal drop. That was actually a 10 HP heal there for Fierce, but not going to worry about it. Fierce did get a pretty nice item drop, Fresh Veggie earlier, so pretty confident on heals there. Room 12 has the first spiked enemies of the run, so you're likely going to have to switch to Boomer. You can technically throw the Paragoombas into those enemies, so you might see some runners do that. It's a nice strat there from Fierce, just by grabbing that enemy with Thoreau. Again, just letting the other Koopa jump into it. It was a really quick kill. The nice thing about killing things with Boomer, or killing enemies with Thoreau, is that you don't have to wait for the death animation for the key to spawn. So if you jump on an enemy normally, as you see on Fierce's screen, you'll have to wait for the enemy to fully despawn, go through the death animation. It takes about a second, but if you throw enemies into one another, or you use Boomer, it'll be much faster. So that saves just a little bit of time every time that happens. It's a nice key there for Fierce. Didn't have to worry about any of these Schlurps in this room. If you see those Schlurp enemies, or the Schlorps later in the pit, you'll just have to feed Boomer to them. They're pretty much required Boomer use, unless you're running Boomerless or Pixelless. Well, if you have Thoreau, you could do some shenanigans. If not, best of luck. Looks to be one of these enemies here did get a nice setup. Was able to kill both those enemies with Thoreau there. Oh, unfortunate. So Phantom was trying to jump up. If you flip back to 2D right in the middle of that wall there, you can actually jump up to the second level. That platform. Good first key in this room, though. Fierce has caught up a good bit since the start of the pit here. I believe 2 rooms away currently. We'll see. I'll do a room check for both these runners. This will be 19 here for Phantom, 17 for Fierce. So 2 rooms, very good first key for 19. 19 has the first like really difficult enemy to deal with in this run, the Koopa Troll. If that enemy has the key, you will have to hit it with Boomer 7 times at this current attack level, the 60k attack level. You can opt to use an alternate strat, where you despawn the enemy. Assuming you've cleared the entire room, you can despawn the enemy there. Get the key that way. Phantom used the Fire Burst there. Unfortunately, did not get the key. There are 6 total enemies in this room. There we go. Did get the key there. Still save time comparing to just using Boomer normally for all those different enemies. Nice. Good strat there for Phantom. Just baiting all of those boos. Really good key. I think that's the first key for Fierce in that room. That's going to save a good bit of time. Even though Fierce did not have the Fire Burst drop like Phantom did. Just got better key luck there. Fierce got the key. Phantom also with the key. It'll be a 1-room difference between these runners, I believe. I will check. Yep, room 24 and 23. First key, once again, for Phantom. Very nice. It's a good key for Fierce as well. Still about that same 1-room difference. Room 25, just 1 chain chomp. This is a great spawn here for Phantom. Just right next to the enemy and the door. Don't have to flip to 3D. That room is split in half there. It can be really annoying. That's one of the enemies that you need to be at 60k attack level. That's why the 1-1 grind is really important in this run. So I believe Fierce is going to be 1 room away. Yeah, still has 25 to go through. 26 is one of the more annoying room layouts. It's sectioned up in a very odd manner. And Phantom, unfortunately, getting some bad key luck. We'll also have to take the key, take the pipe to get to the door. So because of that, Fierce is going to be in the same room here. Phantom last key here is just unfortunate. This can be one of the longer rooms in the early pit. Fierce did get another heal drop. Not going to worry about it. Still looking for the key here. Phantom will maintain the lead. Going into 27, just a bunch of squiglets. First key. You'd love to see that. Outside of 26, the rest of the 20s have been going very well for Phantom. I think this is also a last key for Fierce, which is really unfortunate for both these runners. That's another great key for Phantom there. Nice. Yeah, this door's up here. Oh, it's not. Okay. Does have to take the pipe. That's unfortunate. But 26 and 29 were pretty much the outliers. Everything else was really nice for this set of 10 floors here for Phantom. Alright, into the 30s. I should mention every 10th room in the pit, you'll see that there's kind of a break room. A really nice point grind there for Phantom. Able to just chain a bunch of jumps on those enemies without touching the ground. You can get a ton of points that way. Yeah, what's up, Reasonable Cuber? Welcome in. Thank you for the raid, appreciate it. Hope your stream went well. Came in at a perfect time. We're currently wrapping up our 2025 Pit Percent tournament. And this is the loser semifinals match between Phantom and Furious, who have both two incredible runners of Pit, having great runs throughout this tournament. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Appreciate it. First key for Furious. You love to see first key in a Tyloid room. It's a very nice, very, very nice room to start the 30s there. Phantom did gain back a little bit of a lead. Should still be like a 1 or 2 room difference. I will check. Unfortunately, Phantom gonna have to take the pipe. This is another room layout that has a section that's blocked off. This one squig is up here, which is unfortunate. So Phantom did get the 90k level up, which is an HP level up. Furious, still looking to get that 90k level up, is down to 6 HP, but thankfully the enemies are pretty simple early on in the pit, so probably won't have to worry about that. Both runners on the same floor here, 34. Phantom will be out. The door is on top for Furious, so we'll have to go back up. It's a nice key in this room here for Phantom. Phantom's going to be out. It's a really good key there for Furious. Furious is going to... actually caught up a little bit in that room. Furious is going to be in the same room as Phantom here. This is the first Ninja room of the run. Really good key there for Phantom. I think that's like a second key. Ninjas have a 25% chance of not actually dying, just turning into a bomb and respawning. Very annoying enemy to deal with. It's another nice key. Phantom's been getting some really good keys. Did get a couple last keys as well, but this has overall been pretty solid so far. Furious is down to 4 HP. As I mentioned, though, very close to the next level up, which will be at 90k. Literally 1,000 points away. Phantom with a really, really good key in this room. With Furious just entered. Furious also with the first key. Wow, okay. Just looking for the door to exit here. So both runners going to be on 39 here in just a moment. Wow, dude, the 30s are honestly going well for both these runners. Furious with another Fire Burst drop. There's not too many uses for the Fire Burst after this point outside of the Racktail fight. That's really probably the main part that we're going to see any more Fire Bursts used. Nice key there in 41 for Phantom. This is the first Clubba room of the run. Clubbas, anytime you take damage, they will do 3 damage to you, so they can really, really rack up a lot of damage to you. Very dangerous to deal with. Oh, That's unfortunate. That would have that boomer would have hit that pokey there, but unfortunately the pokey just decided to do its attack animation and somehow dodged it. That's really unfortunate, but didn't have the key anyway, so it didn't matter. Fear's still looking for the key here, 41. The common theme with clubber rooms is that if you get bad key RNG on these rooms, things can go south really fast. You can end up losing a good bit of time. Fear's gonna grab that heal there. Fierce should have 3 heals now. Phantom doing a really nice job of just doing a couple like mini point grinds throughout the pit, really racking up on points throughout this run. I think that is a last key, unfortunately. It's Fierce about to finish up 43 here, just 2 more enemies left. I think it was the last key. 45. Phantom with a really nice key here in 45. Oh, first key, 46. Phantom gonna check the top floor, yep. Good call. I was just about to mention 46, that top floor will extend all the way to the left wall, so you have to go to the right if you want to get up there. Which could be a good strat. If there's any Koopa shells you can kick on the top floor. Oh my god, what a drop. Ice Storm. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is probably one of the best item drops you can get in the pit. That'll be an incredible time save for room 98 when we get there. It's kind of an awkward setup here in this clubber room. There's 2 clubber rooms in the 40s, 41 and 48. Fierce got the key there. I think door's on the bottom here. 49. Phantom does get the key. Fierce going to be entering 48. Phantom moving on to 51. Fierce is down to 3 HP, just going to use the heal. Still a little far from the next level up, it'll be 120k. These enemies can just do so much damage. So the Clubbos will do 3 damage, and then the projectiles from the Magic Koopas will also do 3 damage. And they have probably like one of the largest projectile hitboxes in the whole pit. No, I don't believe, I don't think either runner has a life shroom. Both runners should be good on heals, though. I think, Fierce still has 2 more heals, like 10 HP heals. I think Phantom does as well. Alright, so Fierce going into 51. 53 here for Phantom. Got Spanias in this room, as well as some Tyloids. It's a good key there. So both Fierce and Phantom on room 51 did this strat here, just letting this Buzzy Beetle shell go back and forth on the bottom floor of this room. Fierce is very close to the next level up now. Ooh, first key. I think that's the first key in this clubber room here for Phantom. I think this last enemy for Furious is on the, yeah, it's on the left side here. Still up top, but that's okay, that's where the door is, so this doesn't lose too much time. As you can see, hooligans are very annoying. Very, very annoying to deal with. Trying to hit them. 56, there's dark boos here that'll attack you. Move towards you in 3D, then they'll spawn in. And then there's also one Cursia in this room, which happens to have the key. There you go. Alright, 54 here for Fierce. This is the Clubber room. 57 for Phantom. Phantom having a really nice 50s here. Wow. Phantom doing such a very good job of getting these point grinds all throughout the pit. Nice key here in 58. 58 is a very dangerous room. It is the Amazy Daisy room. There is one Amazy Daisy in that room that'll do 10 damage if you get hit by its projectile, so... Thankfully, Phantom got out of there very quick. It's a good key in this room as well. Overall, I think that was a really solid 50 split for Phantom. So 61. Couple Cursias in this room, couple Boomboxers. It's a pretty easy room to deal with. 56 for Fierce, dealing with the Dark Boos in this room. Phantom does get a heal. Was down to 4 HP, I believe, in that room. Yeah, that is a dangerous room to be at 4 HP, because those Boomboxer projectiles would one-hit kill, so that's really, really dangerous, but thankfully, Phantom is okay. About 10k away from the next level up. $63, once again, another Clubber room. Boomerang Bros as well. Their body damage will do 2, projectile will do 3. It's a really good key for this room, just trying to find the door and get out. Also a good key for 58 there for Fierce. There we go. Don't have to worry about any Amazy Daisies today, thankfully. Dealing with the Tyloids there. Fierce going to be entering the 60s. It's Fierce into 61. Phantom, 65. 65 just has 2 enemies here. Pretty easy room to deal with. $66 has more ninjas. These Skelebits, we can hit them with Boomer and then jump on them. It's probably the fastest way to kill them. Once you're at the 200k level up, you'll be able to just one-hit those Skelebits with Boomer, which is pretty nice. Ideally, you'd like to be at 200, if possible, you'd like to be at 200k before entering room 79. There's a bunch of Skelebits there. This room that Phantom's in, it's a nice key there. Pretty solid key. It's a very annoying room to deal with, the longators and longodiles there. Another great point grind there for Phantom. Phantom also got the 160k level up, which is nice. Next level up will be at 200. Fierce almost at the 160k level up as well here in the Tyloid room. 69 for Phantom, wrapping up the 60s. Very dangerous room to be in. Anytime you get hit in this room with a shell, it'll be 5 damage. But thankfully, Phantom played that really well there. Alright, so entering 71, Fierce still working through the 60s. I believe this is 66. The last key here to start the 70s for Phantom. Just 2 enemies in this room for Phantom. Unfortunately, gonna have to wait for this guy to turn around. If these Jobuses see you, they will try to target you, and they're just really annoying to deal with. You can't grab them from throw when you're standing in front of them. You can do that while behind them, so can be used in different ways. Fierce got a really good first key. Phantom going for Super Boomer. Does get it. Very nicely done. And there's the key. So Fierce going to be out of the 60s. Did take a lot of damage there at the end, unfortunately, but I think still has some heals, some healing items to play with. Next level up for both these runners is at 200k. $75, these Rough Puff projectiles will do 4 damage, but their body damage will only do 2. Phantom got a heal and the key. Got a honey jar there. Pretty solid key to get for the Rough Puff room. That room can take a while, and those enemies can do a lot of damage. 76. Also really good key in this room. Gonna be out. So 77 for Phantom. I believe this is 73 here for Fierce. Still 4 room difference between these runners. Phantom looking for the key here. There's some Magiblots in this room, couple Squogs. Looks to be 1 Magiblot, yeah. There he is. It's a really good spawn in this room for Phantom. Was able to kill both the enemies, and the door is right there. Was really well played. Fierce is down to 4 HP. We'll have to be a little careful. I think these enemies do 3. There's the key. So Phantom, unfortunately not at 200k quite yet. Very close to it, but it's really hard to do. So 75 for Fierce. Phantom going to be entering the 80s. Fierce going to chain a ton of points together here. Really caught up a lot there. That was pretty big. Ooh, nice key for Phantom. There's the door. Oh my gosh, okay, Fierce down to... No! I was just about to say, Fierce down to 2. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Man, that one projectile there. Those, those white boomboxers will do 6 damage from their projectile. Which can just be so deadly so quickly. But... GG's on the run, Furious. And GG's on the whole performance throughout the pit. I mean, Furious has had an absolutely incredible run this year. I believe that was Furious's 7th match of the tournament, which is an incredible accomplishment in itself. I do not need that text up there. My bad. Okay, I still had that from last time. Well, GG's Furious. Sorry about the run. Thank you for playing this year. It was a lot of fun. With that, Phantom, we'll finish out this run, and we'll be moving on to the next round. Gets a really nice key here in 85. Still on a really solid run. I do want to shout out Furious. Make sure to give Furious a follow. Really, really good runner this year. Had so many incredible runs. Pulled off an upset against Castle last week. Got a incredible PB, 121. Which is really, really impressive stuff. Phantom nearing the end of the 80s, that was 88. Just a bunch of ninjas. Pretty annoying room to deal with. Gonna go for Super Boomer here. Does get it. It's very loud. Finally gets the key there. 89, if you spawn on top there, you'll see the runners use the shell shock. I think it is technically, potentially, a little bit of a faster strat to do the Super Boomer if you spawn on the bottom. So, you have, odds are pretty much the same of getting the key. There's a total of 29 different enemies in that room. It's the most enemies in one room of the pit. This is a great spawn here, by the way, for Phantom. It's both the enemies and the door. Really nice start to the 90s. '93 has a horrendous assortment of enemies in this room. It's Very, very annoying. Oh, Phantom down to just 2 HP. If Phantom does game over, it won't matter. Phantom has technically already won. If both runners were to game over in the pit, we'll go by whoever got the furthest into the pit. Whoever got to the furthest floor. But still would love to see Phantom finish it out. Gonna go for the out-of-bounds clip here. Good time save instead of having to go all the way to the left there. Very nice Super Boomer there. Got the key very quickly. It's pretty much a first key there. Just 4 enemies here in this room, 96. Oh my god, that projectile. The next level up is 250k. Phantom is very close. $97. Such a difficult room. First key. Love to see that. First key, 97. Alright, so Phantom did get the Ice Storm drop. Oh, and a Thunder Rage. I completely missed that. So, pretty much fully set for this room. Won't have to use another one. Gets the key here. There's just 4 enemies in that room. Those 2 items are very nice to have. Same with a Hot Sauce or a Mighty Tonic. Save a lot of time in that room. And there's the key in 99. Alright, there we go. I believe this is potentially... We'll see what happens. This could potentially be a 119 pace. At least according to best possible time on Phantom Splits. It'll be really close, so... Yeah, I think it might need the... I'm assuming it probably needs the new strat. The new Racktail strat. Pretty quickly. So Racktail, pretty much identical to the Fractail fight. Racktail will do a little bit more damage. Will do 10 damage, so... Is a little dangerous, but... Yeah, if you were to... I assume you're asking, like, if you were to refight Fractail... Oh, yeah, actually, good point from Emily. So, the reason this one works is because these enemies have, like, 10 HP, so we can jump on them twice there, as you can see there. Took damage from the antenna, jumped on them a second time. Very nicely done, so this might be, just 2 more cycles. This might be a 119 we're looking at. Very nice first try there. But yeah, if the Frackles did have the HP for it, you could technically, I would assume it would technically be possible. But unfortunately they don't, so. There is another strat that you can do with 3D damage. I think we've seen a couple people go for it this tournament. It's like the old method of doing that fight really fast. GG's Phantom. Very, very good run. 119 in a tournament match. All right. And down the pipe, that is it. 119.55 officially on Phantom's timer. GG's. Congratulations to Phantom. Moving on to the next round, I will update the bracket. And GG's to Furious as well. Sorry about your run. Thank you for playing this year's tournament. Had a really good run through the losers bracket this year. Pulled off an upset against the 1 seed. And we'll finish 4th overall in the tournament. Which is cool to see. So, congratulations to both these runners. And coming up, Phantom will await to play a losers final matchup between either Moonrise or Korra. And those are our 3 final competitors of the tournament. So the next match that we'll have here will be winners finals, Moonrise versus Korra. Has not been scheduled yet, but we'll get that scheduled at some point and have that streamed here soon, which should be a lot of fun. So yeah, that is pretty much going to do it for us. I will find somebody to raid here who's playing SPM. Oh, I do want to mention, I don't think I've mentioned it on stream yet. However, I'm going to attempt, we'll see how it goes, for the next winners finals, losers finals, and grand final. Basically the last 3 matches of the tournament here. I'm going to attempt to multi-stream those matches onto our YouTube channel. Which I've been doing some testing with that, trying to set that up, so. Yeah, I'll raid Druz. There we go. We're going to raid Druz, doing some 90%. So, we'll see how that goes. Should be really interesting. I have not streamed to YouTube actively before, so we're going to see how that goes. And multi-streaming especially. Hopefully my PC can hold up. I think it can. We'll see. But be cool to get these matches on the main YouTube channel. Once again. Alright, well that's going to do it for us. GG's Phantom. We'll see you all next time. Until then, have a great rest of your night. Take care, and peace.